Bad news for millennials. Things have never looked bleaker for first-time home buyers. And guys, welcome back to the channel. I know the headlines can be scary. I want to dig more deeper into this thing to see what it means, share some data and charts with you, and hopefully be helpful. Well, let's get into it. Okay, I want to start with this chart here first. This is a percentage of home buyers that are first-time home buyers. So if you take a look at it, it was back in, say, 0809 when it was really easy to get a mortgage. Half of the home buyers were first-time home buyers, although we know now from history that too many people bought homes that essentially couldn't afford it. And then you go back to where we are now, it's around 25-ish% are first-time home buyers. So there's certainly a big change than it was before. And I'm showing you these charts because I want you to show you that you're not alone if you feel like, it's tough to be getting into a home if you're a first-time home buyer. In fact, not that many people are doing it compared to people who have bought a home before. If you take a look at this is the median age of home buyers. The one I want you to look at is the teal color. So just look for comparison. Say back in 1981, median age was what, 27, 28, something like that. You hit to the 2000s, it moved up to around what, 31, 32. Then you moved over to say 2020, 2021. It was much closer to say 33, 34, this sort of thing. And then now in 2022, the median age for first-time home buyers is above 35, and we'll see where that ends up being. Basically, this is showing you that less people are buying homes for the first time, and if they are, they're much older. In terms of demographics of who's buying these, you can take a look at some income levels. So this one is functionated quite a bit. Basically, I think it kind of shows you again, say 08, 09, the income requirements were less. 2021 is a bit of an anomaly. I was reading about this, and one explanation they were saying is just that people that were buying in 2021 were buying in markets that were cheaper, and then the income requirements were less. But it does seem kind of weird when you look at the chart. How the requirements are going up steadily, and then suddenly 2021 it dropped. I don't think that would necessarily stay the same because we do know that salaries are going up due to inflation. And again, this is 2021 numbers, so we'll see what the numbers end up coming in at 2022. So that's a bit of a strange. Just looking at it for yourself, and love to hear you guys' thoughts on this one as well. Regards to demographics of people who are first-time home buyers, and again, I want you to look at these numbers because sometimes people get frustrated with what's going on in your life, but I want you to understand that you are not alone. You are part of a larger economic trend. So take a look at this. So in 1981, 68% of the buyers were married couples. Now in 2022, it's 49%, right? So that's definitely changed quite a bit. You have a lot more unmarried couples buying homes. Together, that's 18%, and then single female, 19%, and single male, 10%. So it looks like more single women are buying homes than men, which is really quite interesting. If you want to take a look at the racial makeup of this stuff, we actually have data on this. So in 2003, you can see 83% of home buyers were white. And in 2022, it's 88%. So essentially, the minority groups are shrinking in size in terms of like amounts that are buying homes. I noticed in particular, it won't make headlines, but I'm just looking at data here. Asian Americans actually have really dropped off in terms of buying homes, and I don't have any explanation for that. I didn't see anything that necessarily said that. You'll hear a lot more about it's just real, and it just sort of how our politics works about, say, Black Americans and essentially their home buying habits. But it seems that Latinos are increasing the size of the percentage of home buyers, and then Asians have dropped off, and so have Black Americans. So just sharing these things with you. Also, too, these are coming in from Redfin. This essentially they're sharing housing data over time, and this one's interesting. One is median sale price. It's basically flat, right? So 0.5% increase, which is interesting because we've talked a lot about, say, housing crash and this sort of thing, but it depends what market you're in. One of the things that we do know for sure, though, is that luxury housing prices have definitely come down. But this one is an interesting one. Essentially, year over year, prices are still elevated, right? So it hasn't quite crashed down yet, essentially what we've been looking at. So if you guys remember a time, it was back during the pandemic where essentially people were bidding above asking price, and it was kind of a crazy period where it seemed like, in some markets, houses were just flying out like crazy. This is an interesting chart because this shows you the average amount of time that it takes for a home to sell. So at the moment, it's saying that it's around 42 days. And essentially going up from prior years. So this is saying that it's longer and tougher for someone to sell a home than it was before. You take a look at this chart here. It's another interesting one. This is how much your mortgage payments have gone up year over year. So at the moment, up year over year is 36%. The average, right? This is just average. Is about someone got in a mortgage at what 6.42%, and then your mortgage is about 2,200 a month, something in that nature. It's certainly elevated from prior years, so you guys can see this. I think a lot of this is due to the rise of interest rates and also to, of course, elevated housing prices. Now, there's a couple of key statistics here which I wanted to share with you guys. I've showed you guys some charts, but there's just a few statistics I think are important. And again, I'm showing these things to not discourage you, just to show you that you're not alone, and also to understand the overall trend that's happening in the housing market. So first, it's saying a couple of the important numbers. 78% of people buying homes finance their homes. And then there was an interesting one here to where if you're a first-time home buyer, essentially you needed a 6% down payment. And then they were saying for people who had purchased a house before, you need 17%. So traditionally, you always tell people, you need about like 20% down, something like that. However, it might be different in your neck of the woods, and also too, what you qualify for, everyone will be different. So this is give you a general guideline of sort of what everyone else is paying. And again, this would be data, from the past. So who knows what it is right now? But this is just some sort of thing. The one that really stood out to me, though, is the one right here. You can see it says the majority of first-time buyers did make financial sacrifices to purchase a home. Those who did, the most common sacrifice reported were, and this is what it was, basically people cut spending on luxury goods, entertainment, and clothes. So I want you to understand this is that, if you're interested in getting into a home, sort of like if you're older and you think, oh my God, my parents got a home when they were in their 20s or something like that, those days are probably long gone. It's just how it is. And also too, if you feel like you're struggling, just also understand you're not alone. There's just not that many first-time home buyers out there. Prices are high right now, right? People are concerned about the economy. People are also concerned about the future of their job, this sort of thing. And, you're probably kind of waiting for prices to come down a bit. I do, in my opinion, expect prices to come down. I mean, essentially, with interest rates elevated, you would assume that the demand will go down. However, this is a real thing. It depends what market you're in. So I always say that every time, when we talk about this stuff, depends what market you're in, because in some markets, there's just not that much inventory available, and there's always a demand to live in, essentially hot markets and desirable places to live. With that said, however, we do know that there are a lot of jobs out there that you can essentially, work remotely, work at home, and live anywhere. And so there will be opportunities to buy homes. However, just do understand that if you aren't going to do this, people are making sacrifices to do that. So like they're saying, cutting spending on luxury goods, entertainment, and clothes. So anyway, this is the sort of stuff I wanted to share with you. Love to hear your thoughts on any one of these stats. And again, you're not alone. You're part of a larger economic thing. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.